Finally tonight, we'd like to talk about Alaska, the state we purchased from the grizzly bears for 50 pounds of salmon. You stupid fucking bears. Now, specifically, we're going to take a look at one of Alaska's endangered resources.
One of Alaska's last Blockbuster stores is closing to retail sales today. The latest closure follows multiple Blockbusters shutting their doors for good in the past year. The North Pole Blockbuster closed in March, the Wasilla store in January, and the Eagle River location last July.
Wow! We seem to be rapidly losing something I didn't even know we had. Which is a weird feeling. It's like if Bigfoot walked out of the woods with a gun to his head saying he exists, there were 4 of him, but he just brutally murdered his wife and 2 kids and he's not feeling great about it. Please don't do it, Bigfoot. We'll give you a second chance if you just let us look at your big, weird feet. But it's true, despite the fact that Blockbuster filed for bankruptcy in 2010, there are apparently 4 independently owned franchises still operating in the United States, 3 of which are in Alaska, which actually makes a little bit of sense because internet coverage is sparse up there, and without unlimited data, streaming has been expensive. And to listen to an employee at one of those stores, their very presence is almost magical.
I have people who come into the parking lot just to take pictures of the building. People who come in and they'll walk around like... And you know that person hasn't been in a Blockbuster in a long time. You can just tell because they'll also be like, oh my God, can't believe you guys are still here.
What a fun but potentially passive-aggressive interaction that was. Wow, I thought you has-been losers had been thrown into the trash heap of history. But you weren't. Good for you. I'm off to stream literally anything I want. See you later, punchline. But as internet coverage improves, those few remaining Alaskan Blockbusters are under serious threat. If only there were a fun, movie-themed way for them to draw people in. You know, the way that Planet Hollywood sucks you in with the chance to dine alongside the baseball mitt that out-acted Madonna in A League of Their Own, or Patrick Swayze's clay erection from the movie Ghost, or Tom Cruise's original wife. You know, incredible pieces of movie history. The problem is, there is no way for a Blockbuster in Alaska to get memorabilia like that. Or is there? Because a few weeks ago, you may remember that we told you about Russell Crowe, The Art of Divorce, an auction in which, to celebrate the end of his marriage, he was selling artefacts from his career, from the gladiator chariot to this leather jockstrap he wore in the film Cinderella Man, which was expected to attract an absolutely ridiculous $500. Well, the auction took place last weekend, and you will be glad to know that no one paid $500 for that jockstrap.
One of the more curious items that went under the hammer was a leather groin protector used by Crowe in the film Cinderella Man. It sold for $7,000 to a telephone bidder. It's not clear what they plan to use it for.
Holy shit! $7,000! That is a big price to pay just to find out what Russell Crowe's balls smelled like in 2005. I'm guessing lilacs with just a hint of spoiled venison. Now, you should know that there has been some speculation out there that we were the ones who bought that jockstrap. And I will admit, it does sound like something that we would do. You know, buy Russell Crowe's jockstrap and send it to one of the last remaining Blockbusters in Alaska. Even that sentence is absolutely incredible to say out loud. The bad news is, we didn't do it. I'm sorry, it wasn't us, we didn't buy it. We did, though. Except we did. We absolutely did. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Now, what we did not do is buy anything else at that auction. Except we did, though. Because what happened was, let me explain, it was 4 a.m. over here, and you know what happens when you start online shopping late at night? You wake up the next day and you think, oh shit, what did I just buy? Well, this was very much one of those times, because we didn't just get a jockstrap. We got a bunch of pointless Russell Crowe memorabilia, and I can think of no more fitting place for them to reside than an Alaskan Blockbuster. So please, join me for a guided tour. First, come with me. First, there is Russell Crowe's director's chair from the film American Gangster, a movie I'd completely forgotten he was in. But he obviously remembered because he not only took the back from his chair, he took the one from Denzel Washington's as well, which obviously we also bought. Now, by the way, Denzel Washington's cost more than his. Now, you are probably thinking, well, do you have one of Russell Crowe's iconic movie costumes? You know, something from the movie Gladiator? Well, no, but only because we got something even better. The vest he wore in Les Miserables. Oh, yes, a movie which Tacky Vest Weekly called a triumph. And that's not the only costume, because we also got this hood that he wore in 2010's Robin Hood, which looks like something a circumcised penis would wear to administer a lethal injection. And finally, we all know that Russell Crowe wore a leather jockstrap in the film Cinderella Man. It is famously worth $7,000. But that movie also apparently featured this satin robe and gym shorts. I presume it did. I presume it featured them. To be honest, I've never seen Cinderella Man, despite now owning thousands of dollars worth of props from it. And to be honest, I'm never going to see it. It is $13 on Amazon. Why would I pay $13 to own the movie Cinderella Man? That's an unforgivable waste of money. Besides, I don't need to see it. I've seen the jockstrap. I basically get it. The point here is, to the manager of the only remaining Blockbuster in Anchorage, Alaska, at 5600 DeBar Road, number 5, all of this shit is yours. Just call us in the next 48 hours and we will send it to you. And I really hope the internet is good enough up there for you to see this in time, because if we do not hear from you in the next 2 days, I know a transportation museum in Scranton, Pennsylvania, that I am sure could make room for a new exhibit. And finally tonight, just a quick update concerning Alaska. The state so far north, it's almost at the edge of our planet. Hashtag flat earth, hashtag truth. Now, you may remember a few weeks ago we talked about the fact that there are actually a few remaining Blockbuster video stores, most of which are in Alaska, and they're in trouble. So to help them out, we bought a number of items from Russell Crowe's recent divorce auction. And at the end of our show, we issued the manager of the Blockbuster in Anchorage an ultimatum to call us within 48 hours so we could send all of that stuff to him. Well, I have some good news for you. He called.
HBO host John Oliver has delivered on his promise, as some prized movie memorabilia is now on display in Anchorage's last Blockbuster.
Yes, just in time for tourist season. Russell Crowe's jockstrap has arrived at the Blockbuster on DeBar. A mini shrine to Russell Crowe has been erected in East Anchorage.
Everybody asked me, did they wash it? I don't know. I hope they did.
Well, I've got some bad news for you there, because we didn't wash it at all. And actually, you probably should, because it's a documented fact that Russell Crowe's 2005 scrotum musk will attract bears. That's a fact. That's a nature fact. And honestly, if that had been the end of this whole story, I'd have been happy. Just knowing that we tried to help that store by doing something breathtakingly stupid. But amazingly, this story actually gets better, because after our segment, Russell Crowe himself tweeted, "I am planning now on how to best use the John Oliver money. Given he's often shown genuine love for Australians and Australia, it's got to be something special." Which is absolutely incredible, mainly because, as far as I'm aware, I've never shown genuine love for Australians or Australia. At most, I've shown morbid curiosity for it. You know, the way a 9-year-old pokes a dead frog with a stick. I'm endlessly fascinated and grossed out at the exact same time. Well, this week, Russell Crowe revealed his plans by tweeting out a surprisingly well-produced video, and I have to say, it is something special. This is real.
G'day, we're the Irwins, and we're here at the Australia Zoo Wildlife Hospital, where we treat so many animals. Koalas right now are suffering a disease called chlamydia. It can cause blindness, infertility, and even cost a koala its life. But now we're trialing a new vaccine, and there is hope for the future.
Absolutely. So thank you so much to Russell Crowe for your amazing donation to help these koalas.
Okay, so. I have so many questions. So, I guess the first one really has to be, how did all of those koalas get chlamydia? Or I guess I really should ask, what exactly happened after this photo shoot with Harry Styles on One Direction's 2012 tour? I guess that's the real question. And look, you might be thinking at this point, well, hold on, John, hold on. How do you know that the money that you spent on his items went to those koalas? Well, the video had a little twist at the end.
And a big thank you to John Oliver for buying some of Russell's incredible things in his auction. You are helping for the fight for chlamydia, and a plaque has been organised in your honour. Check it out.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Well played, Russell Crowe. Well played indeed. That may honestly be the greatest thing I've ever seen. Look, I will be completely honest. Back when this show started, I wrote down my one and only goal for it, and I put it in this envelope. It was a simple goal. It was just 3 words long. That goal, a Koala Chlamydia award. So what I'm essentially saying here is we've accomplished everything we set out to do on this show, which means thanks very much, everyone, but we are fucking done here. That's right. Let's shut it down. This show is over. And please, please, don't think of this as a sad occasion, because I leave you in total triumph at this point. And I do hope that you enjoyed Last Week Tonight. I do hope you enjoyed the show over the years. I know that we made it rather difficult to do that, but, you know, we did learn some things along the way, didn't we? And we had exactly 4 laughs together, so that's something. The point is, pack it up, guys. We're going home. We did it, Jeff. We did it. We got the Koala Awards. And look, I know you might be asking at this point, but John, wasn't making 4.5 seasons of aggressively researched comedy a fairly inefficient way of getting a Koala Chlamydia Award named after you? And to that I answer, well, I mean, it worked, so I guess, fuck you, I guess? So now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a date with some very contagious koalas. That is our series. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye forever, everyone. I regret nothing. I regret nothing. My work here is done.